Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about my top 15 favorite werewolf movies of all time. And before we do, you know what I want to say. If you're brand new to my channel and if you like my content, subscribe to the channel for more content. And click on the notification bell to never miss an upload. And if you really like this video talking about my top 15 favorite werewolf movies of all time, click on the like button. And if you have a top 10 or top 15 favorite werewolf movies of all time, put it down in the comments. I really want to know. But anyways, let's get started on number 15. Number 15 is called Big Bad Wolf. This weird comedy horror movie is pretty strange, but with a very good special effects and makeup. The kills are pretty good. Even there's a cheesy joke with every single kill in this movie. It's pretty good. A couple of teenagers or young adults go to a cabin in the middle of nowhere and get shredded by a werewolf that does cheesy jokes after they get killed by him. Even the main actress in this movie. You might know her in the franchise Halloween Town. Coming in number 14 is Were. Were is something different in the werewolf genre that is not very bad, but some people might not watch this movie because it's not really a full werewolf movie. It's a human, just stays in a human form, but have more hair and claws and creepier teeth. And sometimes this movie might let some people down just because of that. The other thing this movie might let down some people is the shaky camera. But give it a chance, you might like this story to this movie. Coming in number 13 is Skinwalkers. The story is very simple for this movie. Bad werewolves trying to find and kill this chosen one kid who just turned 13 years old. The best thing is the makeup effects on the werewolves. And the actors do a pretty good job as well. You have an actor who played Casey Jones from the 90s Ninja Turtle movies. Even you have the main actress who played in the third Underworld movie. Coming in number 12 is Ginger Snaps. This independent Canadian horror film isn't really bad. One sister trying everything to help the other sister to stop changing to a werewolf, but her sister is being more of a douchebag to her and doesn't want to change. It's a powerful story between these two sisters, and that's why they're sequels to this movie franchise to explain their chemistry together. Coming in number 11 is Curse. Curse has a lot of big actors in this movie, and they do a pretty good job. Even though the werewolf effects are pretty good for this movie, for the most part, but there's some cheesy jokes in this movie as well. Coming in number 10 is Wolf. Jack Nicholson does a pretty good job playing a businessman slash a werewolf, but this movie doesn't do a lot as a werewolf movie, but shows a businessman doesn't want to lose his job. Even there's a lot of romance in this movie as well. Coming in number 9 is Howl. This British horror film is pretty good for what they are going for. Train stops in the middle of nowhere to a forest and get attacked by these werewolves is pretty good. But the only problem in this movie is the CGI is kind of bad. But it keeps you going in this movie, and it's a very fast-paced film as well. Even you really like some of the characters in this movie. Coming in number 8 is Silver Bullet. This Stephen King novel that transforms to a movie isn't really bad. I really enjoy the actors who did a pretty good job. Even the storytelling is pretty good as well. I never read the novel, but I really like this movie. The only problem in this movie is the ending of seeing the werewolf. Coming in number 7 is Bad Moon. I love this concept a little bit for this movie. I love when there's a dog in this movie who protects his family against a werewolf is pretty good. I love the look of this werewolf as well. It's pretty cool. The storytelling is sometimes bad because I figure out some problems with the first time watching this movie, but you still gotta give this movie a chance, even if the mother in this movie does make a lot of bad choices. Coming in number 6 is The Wolfman. This classic Universal monster movie is pretty good and still holds up to this day. Some people might not like this version of The Wolfman, so you might like the reboot of the movie that came out in 2010 if you don't like black and white movies. Coming in number 5 is The Howling. This Joe Dante movie is pretty good for being a werewolf movie, but there's some animation in this movie when two werewolves making love, and the actress Dee, who played in the movie E.T. as the mother, does an excellent job. The werewolf transformation is pretty great. There is a lot of sequels of this franchise, but just stay with this movie and don't watch the sequels. Coming in number 4 is Underworld. Underworld is a great action horror movie franchise that has some great werewolves and great vampires. I really don't want to say more about this franchise because I already talked so much about this movie franchise in my top 10 vampire movies. Coming in number 3 is The Late Phrase. Now, I really like this concept for this film. A blind veteran man with his dog in a retirement home is pretty good. Even getting attacked by werewolves is more intense for the storytelling. Coming in number 2 is An American Werewolf in London. There's nothing a lot to say about this movie that already been said. American Werewolf in London is a classic horror werewolf film. Even still have a great and maybe the best transformation of a werewolf ever. Even it's pretty fun to watch to this day. Coming in number 1 in my favorite werewolf movie of all time, it's called Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers, for the concept, is pretty great. An army team doing a training routine in the woods, but found the other squad get shredded by werewolves is pretty excellent. And staying in a home in a nowhere land, defending themselves against a werewolf pack. It's a great concept and I love it to this day. And this movie came out in 2002. The acting is great. The werewolf effects are pretty great too. There's nothing else to say about this, but it's a great werewolf movie and it's my personal favorite werewolf movie of all time. But overall, that's my top 15 favorite werewolf movies of all time. So, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.